think what happened later is that, and I'm sorry that I take longer time to talk about that, but it's maybe crucial to understand why later I'm willing to stand with my colleagues and partners in this struggle, whether they are Palestinians or Americans or internationals or Israelis, and against the Israeli military. So when you see that so many children are getting killed in these bombardments, and so many families are being completely crushed and evaporate under these huge bombs, it kind of brings some challenges to these barriers that we build in our mind. Because we always, as I said at the beginning, we think about us and them, my family, your family, my room, your room, and these barriers between these conceptions in our mind start to fall, start to crumble, start to crack when horrible things are happening on the other side. And that's what triggered me and many of my friends in the Air Force to launch this initiative that we call the Pilot's Letter, in which we refused to participate in any kind of service to the occupation. I was never sent to shoot myself, with my own helicopter, because I didn't fly these kind of missions. But I thought that it doesn't matter if I do the shoot, I pull the trigger, or my good friend in the other squadron is pulling the trigger. Once I'm part of it, I have responsibility. And everyone can say that it's not my responsibility. The F-16 pilot that is dropping the bomb, US-made bomb, US-made F-16, also given as a free military aid. Everyone that flies this F-16 can say, oh, this was the navigator, the guy that sits in the back, who pressed the button, who pulled the trigger. I'm just driving, I'm just a driver. So for me, it became clear that whether I'm directly involved in killing innocents, or I'm just part of a military that is involved in killing innocents, and not just one or two, we're talking about hundreds and thousands, I cannot be part of it. Later on, and I will try to expedite, we heard about the flotilla, the first flotilla in 2010, and the very same squadron that came to drop the commandos on the Mavi Marmara, the same squadron that dropped those soldiers who killed these activists on board, was my squadron, the squadron that I was part of the foundation team of. And you just don't know how to react, you don't know what to do with yourself. You can say a few things, you can sing a few songs, you can write, but this is not enough. And again, once we are committed to the idea of non-violence, we have to be very creative. We have to be creative in the way we are treating each other, treating our own problems, and treating big, enormous, violent entity like the Israeli military, the Israeli occupation, the Israeli government. So for me, it was a very clear decision at that point. And this morning, when I woke up and heard about what happened with the attack on the Mavi Marmara, it was clear to me that I'm a sailor. I have the experience of being a skipper. I used to sail many years, instructing children with disabilities as a volunteer and stuff. And I love to sail. And I just was clear that that's what I have to do. I have to be on the next boat that will try to challenge the illegal blockade to Gaza. And that's how I got involved with the Jewish boat in September 2010. How much time do I have?
As much as you want.
Okay. The Jewish boat was a very tiny thing compared to the first flotilla, the second flotilla, even the other boats. We were just a small boat of 10 people, 33 feet, and we managed to bring it slowly from somewhere in Greece to Cyprus, and from Cyprus we took the passengers. We had a Holocaust survivor and a bereaved father and Jewish professors, and a really interesting group of people. Okay, and we tried to make it to Gaza with a symbolic cargo of harmonicas and letters and different flags and things that people gave us to bring. But the cargo was, as I said, very, very dangerous ammunition, harmonicas and toys for kids. And as you know, we were boarded. Personally, I was tasered close to my heart, completely without any reason. And all of us were arrested. The non-Israelis were deported, and the Israelis were released after several hours. The second flotilla that just happened was a natural continuation from that point. I was asked by the organizer of the US boat, the City of Hope, to be on the crew of the boat. And I gladly say that I will do everything that I can to be part of this initiative and to help steer the wheel of this boat toward Gaza port. And that's what we try to do. And I'll just give in short the scheme of what happened. People came to Athens in the end, close to the end of June, went through a lot of nonviolent training. It was clear for us that we want everyone to be ready to cope with violent soldiers coming and approaching our boat, and not to react in any way that would challenge our safety and will be dangerous. So we did all this nonviolent training. I was most of the time on the boat with the crew and the captain getting the boat ready. And then we had this, you probably heard about it, this bogus claims by some organization linked to the Israeli government that we are not seaworthy. And that was, of course, later the pretext of the Coast Guard and the Greek authority not to let all of us leave Greece. It was clear, and I was present in the room when these inspectors came, that it's just are funding things in order to stop us from leaving. And in the 1st of July, I think it was, we just left, all of us on board, about 50-something people, 5 crew members, captain, and about 10 media, people from CNN, CBS, Democracy Now!, The Nation, New York Times, and others, and we just left. And it was one of the most exciting moments in the last years, I remember. The feeling of we are actually sailing now toward Gaza, knowing that there is a big chance that they will stop us. And then, oh, by the way, we prepared a huge sign, maybe like half of this wall, saying, who is it, Poseidon or Netanyahu? And we knew that the Greek Coast Guard will come after us. So we prepared this big sign to them, and as soon as they approached, we came with a big sign and held it in front of them. Because that was the question. Who is now the god of the Greek Sea? Is it the Israeli occupation outsourcing to Greece? Or is it Poseidon or the Greek people that we know that the majority of the Greeks are on our side? We know that. What happened later, and I'll be very short, is that they did approach us, and there was some kind of still battle of we are standing in the water, the Greek Coast Guard standing next to us, the captain is shouting, asking us to return back saying that you know, we are not seaworthy, and he was reading from this list, your air condition is not working well, and you know, it was so ridiculous, and I think he himself was kind of ashamed even of participating in something like that. And then because the air condition was not working well according to this list, he brought the other boat with a Ninja Turtle, the commando forces, and you can see online, if you go to the website of the US boat to Gaza, how these Ninja Turtles are aiming the weapon toward us because our air condition is not working well according to the Greek Coast Guard. We were all forced to go back to coast, and we were imprisoned, the boat was imprisoned in a Coast Guard dock. Later we found out that this dock is partially owned by the US State Department, US government, and the boat is still there. The boat is still there, we're still waiting, and lawyers are working to release it. And I will conclude with this. People are saying that it was a failure, that we didn't even you know, accept the Dignité, the French, one of the French boats. None of us really made it out and made it to Gaza. But my answer to that is that even if we would have made it to the port of Gaza and bring our dangerous cargo, which was love letters of American citizens to Gaza. Even if all the boat would have made it to Gaza, it was still not a success, because the success will be when people will be free, when people will be equal. And I urge people to look at things in that way. We are not going to finish our sail until people will be free and until people will be equal. So the sale is still going on. And now if we talk about failure, I think the amount of media that we got, the amount of support that we got from even the Greek people, and the showing of solidarity toward Palestinians inside Gaza, in the West Bank, in the rest of the world, and the mobilization of millions of people around the world to support that, is not a failure at all. I think that was a great success. And on top of all this, we still have most of the boats. So there are many motivated, highly motivated people all around the world, in the groups and outside of the movement, that are very happy to participate in the next move of this movement. We don't know exactly what is going to be. There might be different initiatives that has to do with boats and mobilizing things for justice and human rights and freedom for Palestine, and we are going to continue this sail. So in my eyes, I think it was a great success, and of course we can learn from mistakes and different things that could be done different for next time. And I just say that again, for those of you that do not necessarily agree with me, after the end of the presentation of Mary, I'm really happy that you will say what you want to say, not too long, but just make your short statement, and we can have a discussion. And again, maybe this whole event is for you.